Hey guys, let's talk about one of my past experience of how I have seen a project getting failed. Nobody talks about it. Yeah, we recovered, but that's another part. But I have seen a project going from green to amber to red. And there are three things which could actually save your project which is going from green to red. One of them is clarity, another is alignment, and the third one is ownership. Let's give some context. This program had strong engineers, experienced managers, agile processes. Certainly, still, we missed deadlines. We had escalation over escalations. To add further to the context, it was a large program. It was a multi-year program. We were migrating hundreds of applications from on-premise to cloud of various different stacks. We had engineers from various tech stacks. We have DevOps, we have InfraOps, we have CloudOps, we have developers, QA, business analysts, SMEs, you name it, we had a role for it. Delivery was under Agile and it was a fixed timeline project. Reality on the ground, and I'm sure there's no surprise. Stand-ups are happening on time, fixed day, fixed time, fixed place. I'm talking about a pre-COVID time, so we were actually going to office every day. Dashboards were showing progress. Every week we had a leadership meeting, and yet there were escalations. Our delivery managers were bombarded with escalations. Poor guys. Let's talk about what went wrong. First, we'll talk about clarity failure. What happened? Team thought success was delivering an application to the cloud, which was remediation or migration. Business thought that all of these applications will work without any downtime during the peak season. Security assumed that the compliance was followed. By the way, no one did a trade-off. It was all green. Results? Team deliver output. Yes, they were successfully able to migrate the application or remediate the application to the cloud, but business expected outcomes. Business expected all those applications which get remediated to the cloud should work seamlessly without a flaw. There was a clarity gap. No shared definition of success. Nobody talked about acceptable risk. Leader missed to ask questions. If this goes live, what must not break? Let's go to the second one. Alignment failure. What is really alignment? Let's look at it. What happened? Business pushed for speed. Business has always pushed for speed. New features, new requirements. Security pushed for controls. Infra pushed for stability, cost, utilization of CPU, and delivery team tried to please all of these stakeholders. Meeting ended with agreement but followed up with escalations and disagreements. Result, hidden conflicts surfaced as delays and escalations. Have you ever gone to a meeting, had an alignment, and after 2 days back you call a stakeholder and say, hey, we agreed on it, let's kind of implement this, and the stakeholders will say, yeah, we agreed on it, but this but was not spoken. This but was never aligned. How do you feel so far? Are you able to relate to this situation? So alignment gap. Agreement was assumed but not tested and validated. For example, in IT projects, we make hundreds of assumptions, but most of the time we really don't put an effort to validate those assumptions and say, hey, I assumed this. Hey, but did you actually validate that assumption? Leader missed to ask a question. What will you compromise if timelines are threatened? What is it? Let's look at the third one. And third one is classic. Everyone talks about it. Ownership. But do we really know what does ownership means? What happened? Program manager tracked progress. Delivery manager handled escalations. Architects made decisions. Business owns deadline. What was the result? Every escalation became a blame discussion. Ownership gap. Responsibility was shared, but accountability was not. So there are two different things, accountability and responsibility. And in agile world, the whole drama of accountability and responsibility is messed up. Many people don't understand the difference between these two. They don't create the RACI matrix. They create a RACI matrix for sure. Most of the places don't even create RACI matrix. Sometimes they create RACI matrix, but that is in silos. Sometimes it is create after having shared conversation, but it never gets revised. So responsibility was shared, but accountability was not. We missed to ask an important question. Who has the final decision? when trade-offs collide? How would this clarity, alignment, and ownership could save your program and saved our program? We defined success. One success definition was defined. Alignment was explicit. We made explicit trade-off over speed, optimization, compliance. And they were constantly reviewed every 3 months. Because sometimes speed is important, sometimes stability is more important. And we are always doing this trade-off. Ensured the RACI matrix was created, agreed among all the leadership and stakeholders. And they really understand that what everyone is accountable for. I would say the key takeaway is most delivery program don't fail due to processes. They fail because clarity is assumed, alignment is polite, and ownership is diluted. Reflection question: which one is breaking your program right now? Is it ownership? Is it clarity? Is it alignment? DM me if you want a cheat sheet or a spreadsheet which will help you strengthen your CAO. Thank you for watching.